Hello everybody, my name is Sophie and welcome back to another video. I have many enemies, I have many ops, and they are all ranked on opness. At the top of the list, Alex Aster. Alex Aster, Colleen Hoover, Ali Hazelwood, you know, they're all #1 actually allied. The Lightlark author Alex Aster has followed us, no me, I feel like I'm the only bitch that cares throughout my entire life. I haven't been able to forget her. She's in my mind constantly and I am obsessed with her, which is why I read every single one of her books, even though I don't like any of them. Prank! That's not why. Believe it or not, people ask me to. I know it's hard to believe, people ask me to read the book, so who am I but a servant to my members? And also, this is all for shits and giggles. So if you like this book and if you like Alex Aster, that's great and you're allowed to have that opinion, just as I am allowed. Okay, it's just my opinion, it's just for fun. Like, I don't think about her constantly, I really don't. It's just, I read her book and I talk a little bit of shit and that's it. It's not that deep. Love you. I do have to say that because this is book #4 that I'm reading of hers, and luckily she is coming out with more books in the near future. She's publishing a 4th Lightlark book, which is like a novella about Oro and Grimm, which are the 2 main characters of that series, in case you don't know. The 2 men. Oh man, if you didn't know, then you would maybe think that those are 2 men who are the main characters and are like in love, but no. Fuck the gays. That is of course not my opinion, but Alex Aster's / allegedly, and I'm not going to say that. There's one black gay character in the book, so. The 2 dudes from the series, because it's a love triangle with the girly pop in the series, and she announced that there's a 3rd book coming out. She hasn't done a lot of promo for it yet because this romance book that she wrote just came out, so she didn't have the time. And then the 4th book in the Lightlark series is also coming out. I don't know if that's this year or next year. Neither do I care. Who wants me to read it? Prove the haters wrong. Tell me you want me to read it. No, but I'll be reading it. I don't know if I'll read the novella because I really don't give a fuck. But a full set, like, I don't give a fuck about novellas, sorry. I know people love novellas, some people do. Me, excluded. Can't wait for that to come out. Can't wait to read the 4th Lightlark book after she said it's a duology, and then she said it's a trilogy, and now it's 5 fucking books. How the fuck did that happen? But you don't care about that. You care about Summer in the City, which is her adult romance book that she has been teasing since the first day of birth. Allegedly, she's written this for 10 years, okay? She said in acknowledgements, because I do read the acknowledgement. What the fuck am I saying? Acknowledge. What? I was so excited to read this book. I made a poll for my members who vote sometimes on my reads, and I had the 3 new releases of this month, which are, you know, the last few weeks more like it, which were this book, then Fearless by Lauren Roberts, and Sunrise on the Reaping. Why the fuck did this win? Why do you want me to suffer? Let me read a Hunger Games book, God forbid! I'll be reading all of those, like the other 2, at some point. Next read, maybe? I don't know yet. I don't want to ever read again. This book was, of course, pitched on her TikTok insanely much. In the words of Alex Aster, this is a book in first person, her first book in first person, and it's different in the sense that it shows her personality very well, that she says that, and then she also said it's very voicey. And I'm not 100% convinced that that is a word. It's very voicey. I think what that means is that it's like her own voice, like her coming through. And that's a great segue because this is an autobiography. God forbid a bitch has hobbies, and my hobby is knowing everything about Alex Aster. She went viral back in the day with her Lightlark book where she was pretending like she was this unpublished new author with her series that nobody believed in, and then 99 people don't believe in you, and then 1 person believes in you, and you become published, and the people from Universal who made Twilight want to make your movie into or a book into a fucking movie, I don't know. And then it turned out, first of all, she came from money, her sister's rich, and also she already had books published, so then people were like, what the fuck? Let me put it this way. It gives me hope that we will never get another romance book from her again, because she seems to only be able to write what she knows, which I know is a lot to say from Lightlark, but Lightlark isn't good. Neither is this, but you will see. Main character is in New York. Alex Aster, also New York. Main character, long brown hair. Alex Aster, also long brown hair. Main character is Colombian. Alex Aster is also Colombian. Main character sold her first screenplay when she graduated from college because she's a screenplay writer. Alex Aster sold her first book when she graduated college. Main character cannot see images in her head. Alex Aster famously also can't, which you can tell. She doesn't know what adjectives are. Main character loves coffee and Taylor Swift. Alex Aster loves coffee and Taylor Swift. Main character has a sister who's rich. Alex Aster also has a sister who's rich. Anyway, this is so similar to Alex Aster. I saw one comment on TikTok that was like, while I was reading it, I just couldn't help but picture you. I was just imagining you didn't. Yeah. Because it is her. What the fuck? There was no abbreviation from herself except the fact that this is like fanfiction about herself, about her life, like self-insert fanfiction about her life, if she grew up poor. Without a dad. She is also engaged in real life, and the main character's love interest in this book is like a tech billionaire, like literally billionaire, which, I mean, she couldn't have chosen a better time to publish a book like that than at the moment, but alas. In this economy, you want me to read about a fucking billionaire? Buying everything he can? Girl, I don't even have gas in my tank. Alas, she couldn't have known that. She's written this book for 10 years, right? But I'm just saying, it's a little bit... It's not very fitting. It's not her fault, but it's just not fitting. And I don't know Alex Aster's fiance that she has. Maybe he is a tech billionaire. And dare I say, it would explain the insane marketing budget for these books. If her fiance was well off. Because I just do not understand how she can pull up at Times Square with a fucking branded coffee card. I don't get it. She has like 50 versions of this. I don't understand. Are they that popular? I don't think so. Really, I truly don't think. I think it's so inflated. I don't understand. All the best to Alexandra Abla. It's okay. Which brings me to my sign. Now that I've explained to you the similarities between the main character and Alex Aster, I don't have to bring them up again during the review, right? So you can just keep that in the back of your head that this is Alex Aster, and if her boyfriend or fiance was a billionaire. Maybe he is. We don't know him. But he does have dark hair, just like the main... Anyway. You will say, what is this sign in the background? Of course, I made it fitting. You will say sus, because suspicious, like it's suspiciously similar to Alex Aster. Wrong. Sus. Shut the fuck up in Turkish. It's a double meaning, and I thought it was very fitting. Because I really do need her to shut the fuck up. She's currently on book tour in France and the UK. Come to Germany, see what happens. That was not a threat. I just want her to come to Germany to see the beautiful country. Obviously. Literally, if she came to Germany and she came to a city nearby, I would go visit her. I would vlog it and I would tell her in her face that I love her books because I'm fake. Alas, this book is about summer in the city in New York. I didn't even take any notes. This is gonna be off the top of my head because I'm crazy like that. It's only 300 pages, which I can appreciate that it's only 300 pages. I can appreciate it. No romance book needs to be 600 pages. 300 arguably a little short. I will always find something to complain about, and I think the golden middle is 400 pages because it did feel very quick. Because it is 300 pages, like there's not that much to do. Like she doesn't have that much space to do anything. As I said, there are like 50 million different editions of this book. And I think that the cover is cute. I can also say that as a positive. However, I did see one TikTok of her being like, I wrote these books, and she holds up the Lightlark trilogy and then she puts it away and she goes, and I also wrote these books, and it's just like the 50 different editions, making it seem like she's written 5 more books, and it's like, no you didn't. This is all the same book. Wait, huh? Elle is an anonymous screenwriter for movies, and nobody knows her identity. She stays hidden because she's like, ugh, I would have to do social media, and I can't help but to just like imagine that all of this applies to Alex Aster. Or this is like, you know how this reads? It's like when you go to bed at night and you picture yourself in like I don't know, fucking Jacob Elordi. This is like like the stories you make up in your head where you think of yourself in like being famous or something. This is how this feels. Like it's just fanfiction about herself. It's a screenwriter, which is a different type of writing, but still writing, right? And nobody knows who she is. She keeps to herself. She's in New York, with one singular friend that she has, who's Italian and her name is Penelope. I don't know if that's an Italian name, I have to be honest. And I can say that because I'm a quarter Italian. Essentially, she lives in LA, but she was in New York at the beginning of the book for some reason. Maybe she was living in New York and they moved to LA. We never see her in LA, don't worry about it. I would never go to LA. Maybe I would if somebody paid for it. In this flashback from 2 years ago, it explains why our two main characters are enemies to lovers, which they are not. Because, first of all, we're in a contemporary romance. Second of all, they were never whatever. Who am I to say? She meets the other dude, his name is Parker, and he is a tech billionaire. He is super good at coding and hacking and shit. Essentially, I don't know what he does, neither does Elle. It's never clarified. It's just he's a tech dude, and he's really good, and he can hack anything and program anything that you think of. This is just about Jeff Bezos if he had hair, basically. In this bar that she is at 2 years ago, she meets him. He's on every magazine. He's the billionaire bachelor. And they make out in a stairwell. And then he basically implies to her that she is a gold digger, or that, well, she's like, I want to take you home so bad. What do I have to do to take you home? Like, how much do I have to pay you, or what do I have to buy you to take you home? And she's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you. And then she leaves him. And 2 years go by, and now we're in the present. So this is how they became enemies. And after 2 years, she is still thinking about him, reading everything about him, obsessed with him, but she hates him because he thought she was a gold digger. And honestly, like, if all I want is a pony. If he bought me a pony, he could do whatever he wants to me. No, I just, if he is hot and nice and he has a lot of money, I really don't get what the issue is. And the main character truly is so unbearable in this book because she is not like other girls, first of all. The fact that I have to read about a girl that's not like other girls in a book that's published in 2025 is ridiculous, but Alex Aster is not like other girls, so that makes sense. Maybe I should just read out the very beginning of the book to you. Finally, I'm reading something out after 21 minutes of filming. So you can get the vibe, first of all, how it reads, how it's written, and also how the main character behaves and how voicey it is, right? In New York City, every weekend is a chance to live in a movie. Drinks on a rooftop in the shadow of a skyline, cut like it was custom made for you, glittering just for that highly saturated and face-tuned within an inch of itself picture you're about to post. Dinner seated next to a celebrity who doesn't touch any of their food and loudly discusses gossip about a movie star that might make you choke on your gin and tonic. A party with drugs that look like pieces of candy spread across a marble table in a penthouse that has back rooms for the staff and a Pilates studio as big as your studio apartment. Now we come to the good part. Unless, of course, you're like me. And a perfect Friday night looks less like a mooching your way into the periphery of a tablet at Marquee and more like watching Netflix on in some ratty shirt that once belonged to your college roommate's ex-boyfriend. A shirt that you might have stolen in one of your weaker moments because you kind of pined for him as much as you pined for that weekly pint of Ben & Jerry's. You swear you're only going to have a few scoops of, truly believing in your self-control right up until the spoon bluntly hits the cardboard at the bottom. I've never had a crush on my friend's boyfriend. That is ridiculous and you're a bad person. Sorry. I suck in a breath like I've been sucker punched. Suck in the same sentence, she does that a lot. Who's your editor and where can I fire them? Because some girl wearing stilettos with heels the size of knitting needles just stepped on my toe. I had my wisdom teeth taken out without anesthetic by a dental student my mother really shouldn't have trusted. This hurts more. And she's talking to her best friend. She really wants to leave this party where she meets the hot billionaire, right? And she goes, we've been here nearly 2 hours. Soon, I'll turn into a pumpkin. What? Is this a reference to something that I don't know? Because I thought maybe they were at a Halloween party and she's gonna turn into a pumpkin. But alas, no. It's just a party. Why a pumpkin? What makes you turn into a pumpkin after 2 hours? Is this a Cinderella reference? But nobody turned into a pumpkin. Or is she the fucking carriage of Cinderella? I don't get it. Having fun? Oh wait, how would a billionaire hot tech dude talk? Having fun? I will never do that again, I'm so sorry. The voice comes from so far above me, I'm forced to look up and up to see the source. Is he in the NBA or something? I don't know. I really am at a loss for words. And you know what's even bigger? His fucking... And never once does the word penis or fall in this book. So... fuck you. So what is this? You think you can buy someone's affection? Take them on a fancy date and woo them into your bed? Would work on me. He lifts his shoulder. I can buy anything I want. I'm seeing red. Who does this guy think he is? Clearly not, I say before ripping the door open and walking back into the club. Movie moment officially over. 2 years later, she's going back to New York after leaving for LA. She hates New York now. And she is still thinking about the dude. I care, I want to say, but I already sound pathetic enough for keeping this grudge for so long. So he lied about his identity and made out with me in the stairwell for a few minutes, basically accusing me of being some sort of money grubber. Big deal. It's really not. It's really not a big deal. Also, he didn't lie. She assumed he was a bouncer at the time, but he was never like, yeah, I bounce. The only thing you should bounce on is this cock. Why is it called a bouncer, by the way? What is the origin of that word? I'm not gonna look it up, actually, don't tell me. Is it because of cock bouncing, or? Why is she back in New York? Well, her rich sister, who doesn't really play a part, I don't really know why she's in here. It's like, I think the whole reason her sister was in the book is because, again, she has a sister, and so she knows what that's like, having a rich sister. And the sister is pregnant, and there's one scene later on where she gives birth while she's in whatever the fuck, and then she's like, I can't get there in time, and then the dude is like, I have a private jet. But other than that, there is no reason for the sister's inclusion. She isn't really... Why the fuck? How quickly do these batteries run out? The main character, Elle, again, is really into coffee shops. She loves coffee, and she's really particular about them. And this is literally 5% in. Resume about what she likes about coffee shops. And it's unreasonably long. Like, there's... I don't care. I will read it out to you, so you can understand what she means. I'm picky with my coffee shops. It's not about the coffee in most cases, in parentheses, though a smooth espresso certainly helps. It's about the stuff people probably don't care about. The cups? I like a firm sleeve. I like the lids that have the transformer pod that covers the drink spout and looks substantial. Like a suitable head for my drink. One that won't crinkle beneath my mouth or fall off. The space? I like tables tiny enough that no one will try to share one with me, but big enough to fit my laptop and drink and inevitably pastry. Huh? Okay, but like, I don't like it. The pastries? I like baked goods that get sourced from bakeries that won't also supply Panera. I like variety. A single cream-filled donut. A flavor-ambiguous muffin. A big flaky croissant that kind of looks like a crab. The extras? Throw in toast. Bagels. Granola and yogurt! Yeah, I don't really know why we need this entire monologue about your fuck-ass preference for coffee, because it doesn't come up again. And also, I feel like Aster was literally writing this as she was like sitting at a cafe, and she was like, what the fuck can I put in here? Wait, what's around me? This lady can't picture things in her head, and it comes through time and time again. She does not like, her writing is very literal. It lacks adjectives. It just makes me think of when in Lightlark she was calling things yokey, a yokey thing, or she called Lightlark itself a cliffy thing. And it was like, okay, variety, queen. Makes you question how she got this far. She goes into a coffee shop and goes, I'm home. And this is like the first coffee shop she goes into after she arrives in New York after 2 years of leaving. I'm home. I've officially found the coffee shop I'm about to haunt for the next 3 months and hope they don't post a picture of me on the door with an X for how much I'm going to monopolize one of their tables. Girl, maybe try some different ones. Like, you've walked 5 meters and found a coffee shop and this is just gonna be it? Okay. If you're wondering why she's in New York, even though she hates the city and she hates the man, it's because her sister, who's rich, who I was referring to earlier, I didn't finish my thought, is pregnant. And she has this apartment, is renovating it for the child. Travels a lot, doesn't really stay in one place for too long, and this apartment is supposed to be like the home base for the child, and so she's renovating it and is asking her sister to stay when the renovations are finishing so she can supervise it. Okay. It's fitting because the main character has been asked to write a book about New York. A love story in New York. More specifically, with like specific places to visit, because they already rented the set and whatever, I don't really remember, but she was like, okay, then I'll just write the book while I'm there for 3 months. Or longer. I don't remember. Really not much to remember. So, the one thing I do remember is that the main character also doesn't like vegetables and doesn't exercise, so... And she has a messy bun all the time. We've lived in LA for years and I haven't seen you wear a dress once or anything that is remotely flattering on you. Are you allergic to the sun? Are you afraid I'll hate you for having a daily intake of saltine crackers, ice cream, bagels, and lattes? And lattes? What the fuck? How do you say it? That sounds so weird. Lattes. Well, latte macchiato. And somehow still having a Pilates body? My face scrunched. Pilates body? You know what I mean! I really didn't, but now I kind of see her point about the clothes. They're all either faded Columbia merch, because they are soft-ass pajamas, but semi-acceptable to wear outside of my riding cave. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she has a Pilates body. Of course, she is incredibly hot, even though she does not exercise, has no stamina, and doesn't like vegetables. That's explicitly said in the book. I'm not making this up. What is a Pilates body? You know? What is that? It looks so different on everybody. I haven't done a moment of exercise since 10th grade PE, so chances are the stairs would take me out before the fire did. Oh my god. His gaze slides down my body for just a moment before meeting mine again, and for that just a moment, it feels like he might be checking me out. Really, he says, half bored, half unbelieving. I think about what Penelope said about the Pilates body. Of course, the hot billionaire is her neighbor. Because why not? And he remembers their meeting just as much as she did, because he's never been told off before. Like, he's been told off in that moment and people only like him for his money and she doesn't care about his money, and so he's, of course, incredibly fascinated by this. They are neighbors and they were roommates. No, they're neighbors, and this is the forced proximity that keeps being advertised. But he never once had like any animosity towards her, so the enemies to lovers, and then one comment she was like, lovers to enemies to lovers. Lovers to enemies to lovers to enemies. It's like, what is it? I mean, can we like decide? Penelope once checked my phone's health, like, and just to drill the point home that this bitch does not move and is skinny as fuck. Penelope once checked my phone's health app and said, "Elle, you've averaged 9 steps this week." Who? What the fuck? The laptop looks laughably small against his side when it took up almost my entire torso. As a kid, every year when I was the top of my class, in parentheses because it meant getting the school scholarship we needed, because again, this is fanfiction, if Alexander grew up broke, my mom would take me and my sister to the Hello Kitty store. The Hello Kitty store? Is there, or was there really a store for Hello Kitty and Hello Kitty only? Why not Target? What is your name? I frown. I already told you. Your full name. Why? Couldn't you find it on Google? What is your full name, Elle? He says. Who are you? Rumpelstiltskin? Oh no, Rumpelstiltskin? Now it's his turn to frown. Rumpelstiltskin? Asked the miller's daughter to guess his own name. Is that true? Bitch! Are you not the writer? Are you not the writer? The fuck? They started fake dating because he asked her, like, can we date for the summer? And he just really has a crush on her Pilates body and he wants to, you know, pound that ass. So he's like, can you just be my date? Because there's a deal going on for his tech firm. Nobody knows what he does. But he's a really good guy because he does not want to sell the data of the customers. What data? We don't know. We don't know what he does. Maybe he's the CEO of Instagram. Maybe he is Jeff Bezos with hair. And so the deal falls flat at the end of the day. But it was like, he wanted to sell the company, but they were like, we're only gonna buy it if we then can sell the data that you have collected with whatever website or app, whatever he does. And he was like, no, I don't want that. And then they were like making a deal the whole summer and he just wanted a fake date for press or something. I'm not sure. So she reluctantly agrees, of course, because at the end of the day, he is a hot billionaire and can I blame a girl? No, I can't, you know? Eat the rich until the rich eat you out. I have my mother's dark brown hair. Oh, shiny hair. And high cheekbones, but didn't get her red lips, thick eyebrows, or permanent glow, or much color whatsoever on my face. So without it, go fucking end the sentence at some point. So without any makeup, I'm plain. Fuck. With makeup, I look like a different person. Maybe that's why I hate it so much. If you like me only when I don't look like myself, what's the point? Yes! L! You're so relatable. She agrees to be his date. They go somewhere, and I don't remember where. When she turns slightly, I see that it's her impressive chest that is keeping her decent. I look down and frown at my own chest. Definitely not enough there to act as a hanger. What the fuck? Listen, I have huge tits, right? But mine also don't act like a hanger. Like, shit slips off that. Maybe she's talking about someone with fake boobs. That's a different story. I apologize for the inconvenience of looking at my oily hair for the last... Sorry, I just watched my own Instagram story. I did realize I have really, really oily hair, and I low-key didn't realize that before, so now I have a headband in, so I hope you don't mind. But there's nothing I can do about it now. So maybe I should just make this quick. His smile is entirely too wicked. Throw all your assumptions at me, everything you think you know about me. I stand up straighter. This will be fun. I like to think of myself as a good judge of character, given the fact that I literally write characters for a living. You went to Stanford. You were a computer science major. You started your company while you were a freshman. Tell me things you can't find on my LinkedIn profile. My cheeks heat. Fine. You grew up rich, or at least upper middle class. You went to a fancy high school. You started the company because you wanted to be a tech bro with a bunch of money. You sleep with models every weekend. You get anything you want, when you want it. He smiles. Wrong. Which one? All of them. So if you cannot even be a good judge of character because you completely judge his character wrong, then maybe your books or your screenplays also aren't that good. Anyway. It feels like college when I couldn't get the words out fast enough. Within a week, I have more than enough ideas. Now I need to shape them into Skim's shapewear of screenwriting. Hä? Again, it's like, shape them into shapewear. Warum? You don't have any other things to reference? Basically, the deal is she's gonna pretend to be his girlfriend. No fucking. And he's going to take her to the different places where the movie is gonna take place so she can get ideas for writing them. The movie, the scenes that she needs to write for the movie. And they do that. They visit different places in New York and they talk, and she's always like, I hate you, you have so much money. There's several arguments where she's like, you don't care what people think, or heh. She accuses him of just thinking with his money. Like, again, he can get anything he wants just because he has money, and he doesn't care about other people, and he thinks he can buy her, but he can't. Okay. He invites her to a friend hangout, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna play basketball. And so she's like, okay. And he's like, okay, the girlfriends are also gonna be there. And she's like, okay. So what she does is turn up in basketball, like in sports wear, to play basketball with them. She was just there, supposed to be there to watch. So that's a little bit embarrassing. I'm wearing my beat up running shoes, shorts I somehow still have from middle school. She's so skinny. I think she's supposed to be 27. She's so skinny. And a t-shirt that has been washed into sandpaper consistency and is currently rug burning my armpits. My face has a visible sheen from the sunscreen that wouldn't blend in after 10 minutes of trying. Not that sunscreen was necessary, apparently. We're in an apartment. Yeah, he has a basketball court in his apartment. And it was never, like, insinuated that she was going to play. She just thought that they were going to, like, the girly pops were also going to play. They weren't supposed to, but of course, feminism strikes again. And then they do, because she's like, why not? And they're like, yeah, why not? They go to an auction, and this is one of the scenes she always advertises, or always advertised on her TikTok, where it's like, she smiles at something, at a diamond, and then he buys it because he thought it made her smile, and then she's like, I didn't smile at the diamond, I smiled at the earrings behind it. And he's like, oh, then I'm just gonna buy the earrings too, and the diamond is like 50. No, it was a bracelet. Yeah, right? That's not even fucking true. Like, oh, he buys her a diamond. No, that's not true. He buys her a bracelet that's really ugly because he thought she smiled at it, but she smiled at the earrings behind it. But the big thing on this auction at this auction was a diamond necklace, and he ends up buying the diamond necklace and putting it on her, and it's like 50 million, and he's like, that's not even 1% of my net worth. Okay. Sorry. My knowledge of pink diamonds comes exclusively from the Pink Panther movie with Beyonce? What the fuck is that? I actually marked that because I wanted to look it up so I could tell you guys about it, and I didn't look it up, so let's do it together. Pink Panther, Beyonce. 2006? Anyway. That's why I didn't get the reference. I was 5 years fucking old! I can't wear this. I tell Parker, eyes wide. Why not? I motion wildly. This belongs in a museum, or in a statue, or behind a glass box. He shakes his head. No, he says. It belongs to me. We will see in the following chapters, which there aren't that many because it's only 300 pages, that she has an aversion to money, you could say. She does not like men with a lot of money because she is traumatized from her father, who left the family and then was manipulating them because he became very wealthy. Like, he left the family and then became very wealthy, and so then he was like manipulating, trying to control her mother, and because of that her mother left the father because he was being controlling, and he became the CEO of like a pharmaceutical company or something. He comes up later, and Elle, the main character, has been keeping away from him, keeping her life private, because she didn't want people to think that she only was successful as a screenwriter because her dad is a rich CEO of a company. And then was also a thing about her mother dying of cancer, or just dying of a... No, I think she said cancer. I was like, dying of an illness. She never really clarifies anything, if I'm being honest. And that she went to her father, who had already left the family, for paying the medical bills, and he did, but in turn he was like, oh, I want this, this, and this, and I want to control this and this and this in your life. And so she really regretted doing that, and then that's it. With that being said, the trauma that this character is supposed to have is men being controlling with money, or just like, she wants to pay for her own shit, basically. I don't really know, actually. And there are continuous scenes where Parker will buy something for her, and she will complain and leave him. And then they make up, and then he will buy something and she will complain and leave him. And this is a repeated cycle. She is such a bitch to this man. He has truly no fault besides being rich and doing shit for her, like wanting to do things for her because he likes her. That's it. And he doesn't have any bad traits, right? There's also a scene where he buys the entire coffee shop brand chain, whatever, because they don't have her favorite pastry anymore, and she's sad about it, so he just buys the company and like makes it so they have it again all the time because it was like exclusive or something. That's something she also doesn't mind. Or renting out the Eiffel Tower is also something she doesn't mind. Once I sit, the full weight of what just happened sinks in. My mom's necklace, this one is on top of it, as if it's nothing, as if it's meaningless, as if it can just be replaced, because it isn't worth tens of millions of dollars. Bullshit. Bullshit thinking. Fuck ass character. At this point, we are 46% in. They've been hanging out for 46% of the book. She goes, all you care about is your money and your company. And that it's just so strange to read, because it's not what the book has been like at all, you know what I mean? I mean, in 300 pages, how much character development can you make? Apparently none, actually. If you ask Alex Aster, none. Her repeatedly having this rhetoric of like, you only care about money and your company, and you pay for everyone, and then that's not what he does throughout the entire book. It's like, I just cannot be on the main character's side because she's being ridiculous and everybody sees it. I bought the coffee shop because you love it. I bought it so that you can have your favorite scone with your favorite latte and your favorite table every morning. I bought it because it makes you happy, and that, to me, Elle is priceless. Again, you know, proving whatever, you get it. You think buying things for me is the way to make me happy? I remember the night in the stairwell, the one he remembers. Oh yeah, he also remembers when they first met. The type of person he assumed I was, clearly that hasn't changed much. Bitch, just shut the fuck up, honestly. Like, at this point, I hope your screenplay fails. Then we get to my favorite part. I genuinely closed the book and didn't read for the rest of the day when this scene came, because already this book was so similar to just Alex Aster, period. And she goes, I can't see images clearly in my head when I read. It's called aphantasia. Aphantasia. Or I've heard it's referred to as mind blind. I didn't even know other people see full-on movies in their head when they read, until my sister told me. When I learned that, I knew the only way I could ever be able to see my writing was to have it be made into movies. So I started writing screenplays. Alex Aster. Yeah, and that's Alex Aster. I mean, Leon, or whatever the fuck her name is. If you're wondering how literal the writing is because she can't see things in her head, she goes, Mira has red hair and freckled skin, and Adriana is from Brazil. Adriana, she's from Brazil, you know, that's all you need to know about her. Sophie is from Germany. Honestly, Sophie is from Germany. This line in itself is really funny, but she continues with, she has brown skin, dark hair, and hazel eyes, which gives you a little bit more context, but I just thought it was really funny that she chose to describe it this way. Like, this bitch has red hair and freckled skin, and the other bitch is from Brazil. But again, I think it shows you that there's not much to her writing, and it's not, but it's very voicey. We're slowly getting to the end, and now finally, because this is adult romance, they're doing it, and from the way she was hyping it up, like her mother was going to read this, I was like expecting scandalous sex. You will see now. My skin is electric, needy. Her entire skin is needy. Okay. Then, my favorite line probably from the entire sex scenes that they have. So he's fingering her against the door and he goes, you can take another one, he says, then waits for me to confirm. I do. Then cry out as he slips in a second finger. He was fingering her with one finger. That's poking. That's what my gynecologist does. That's checking her cervix. Like, you know? What the fuck do you mean you can take another one and it's a second finger? Or are his fingers huge, the size of one cock, or what? The scenes are very vanilla. Well, they are vanilla, okay? But they're also very non-descriptive. And for her hyping it up to be like this end-all be-all, it was very underwhelming. And we'll talk about the other, like, when we get to it. We'll talk about it when we get there. They don't fully do it. He finds out that her dad is like the pharmaceutical dude. And he goes, your last name, it isn't Salazar. Salazar Slytherin. Leon was my mother's maiden name. I changed it when my dad left. He nods, understanding. Sometimes I wish I had changed mine. And you know what the fuck Alex Aster decides to write as the next line? I know how that feels. Names are so important. What? I know how that feels. Names are so important. What the fuck? I don't even know if this is coming across right. Writing something like, I know how that feels. Names are so important. That's something a fucking middle schooler writes. You're supposed to be a #1 best-selling author, a New York Times best-selling author, you know, with this amazing book deals and blah 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 blah. I don't fucking know. And you write names are so important. That's the best you can come up with? Of course, name. I know how that feels. Yes, that's why you changed your fucking name. This is first person. We know that's how the character feels. What the fuck? They finally do it. He gets out his penis. She does not want to say penis or cock. As I mentioned earlier, she does not. She's very undescriptive in these scenes. She goes, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, I say swallowing, but there might be such a thing as too many inches. He holds me like that for a few seconds. Our hearts speaking Morse code to each other. Put the pen down. Now we're at the end of the book finally. I'm just gonna skip past everything we know. As I mentioned, there was one scene where her sister was giving birth, but she's in a different country. He's like, oh, I have a private jet, I can fly you there. She's like, fuck private jets, like, there's so much emission. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna sell the private jet. This will be the last flight of the private jet. And then he lands in Palermo or wherever the fuck they are, and he's like, this is the last flight of this jet. You will now be let go. You will now lose your jobs to the crew. And the sister gives birth. It's great, it's amazing. We don't give a fuck about the fuck-ass sister. Then Parker decides at the end of the book to propose to Elle. This is the infamous chapter 30. If you see reviews of this book, they will see chapter 30 ruined it for me. And that is the chapter where he proposes to her. He, for some reason, somehow managed to block off an entire section in Times Square. Nobody's there, no cars, no people. He decides to propose to her. She's like, I don't think so. She goes, you don't understand. You don't know me. I'm horrible. If I have an appointment, I can't do anything else that day. It's pathetic. I get way too happy when the barista remembers my name. I have to give myself a pep talk for 15 minutes before calling the doctor's office. Girl, shut the fuck up. You're a grown-ass fucking woman. Yes, I say before I can think about all the reasons not to. His smile widens, eyes crinkling. I've never seen him happier. Then he kisses me. He kisses me, and I can see it. A future, a life, an endless summer. There's one more thing, he says, and he takes my hand, walks me to the closest store. Its door looks like an arched gate, like something from a fairy tale. There's greenery framing the windows. Harry Winston. It's empty inside, just like the street. The cases are all open. I swallow. I've seen this movie. Do I, pick one, I say? Parker frowns like he doesn't get the reference at all. Like he has no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. No, they're all yours. I blink. Parker, I don't need... There are 94. One for every day we spent together this summer. After 94 days, he wants to marry this bitch. I picked out all of them. Sensing my reluctance, or maybe horror, he says, sell them, give them to charity, I don't care. They're yours. He literally, repeatedly in this book, again, his only fault is that he's a man and he has money, gives her, his credit card. You should not give me your credit card if you're a billionaire. I'm just gonna say that much. I'm gonna buy 5 ponies. I don't really know what it is with ponies. I know horses are a lot of work and stuff, but I just want a little horse. I just love animals that are small. But that's probably not good, because when they are small, they have more issues, and I should just get a full-size horse. So I would get 5 full-size horses. He donates to charity. She says, sell your private jet. I hate private jets. He sells the private jet. I don't really know why he does all of this, because again, she's a fucking bitch to him. And you guys are gonna say, who even are these characters? What do they even do? Nothing. And neither does this dude. He has no hobbies, right? He just has his fucking job as CEO of a tech company. We don't know what the tech company does. There's honestly only so much room in 300 pages. Maybe you've guys read romance books where there's more development. I mean, I'm sure there are, right? I haven't read any. But this is definitely not the one for that. For any sort of development or any sort of death to characters. Yeah, anyway, so he goes, there's something else. And then he pulls out a piece of paper and hands it to me. It's a deed. My eyes narrow, not understanding until I see the address. I know it better than my own. I've searched it multiple times in my worst of writing slums. I have the listing printed out and glued to the manifestation board Penelope's made me make 3 New Years ago. It's my dream house. Somewhere behind my ribs my heart breaks. It's yours. No. Slowly everything good turns bitter. I blinked too many times, hoping, wishing this isn't what I think it is. You didn't, Parker. Tell me you didn't. He's confused. I am too. This is a transfer document, blah, blah, blah. You don't get it, Parker. It's not just about control. It's about pride and it's about me. I wanted to buy it with my own work, on my own terms. He buys her a house that she's been talking about the entire time, that she really wants to buy it. So her issue is that he buys her this townhouse because she wanted to buy it with her own money, right? Because money is only an issue when she doesn't have it herself. When it's the man's. She doesn't want man's money. It felt really out of character, this entire proposal, renting out wherever they are, I'm just gonna say Times Square, and buying her 94 rings when this is a conversation they've had about being controlling, or her saying, I don't like when you spend so much money on me, and then him still doing this for the proposal seemed a little bit crazy to me, but that might just be me. Anyway, they break up here, and she just runs out, right? Runs away for 2 years. They are separated for 2 years. She does not care about the fact that he is a billionaire. She just cares about the fact that she isn't. Then these 2 years go by, people find out who she is, that she is the screenwriter, that's supposed to be an issue, because her dad exposes her, because he finds her and he exposes her, that, and then he's like, oh, I made her famous, or I've always supported her, which is not true, he's just a bitch asshole, and she's like, oh my god, how could he do this, my life is ruined, blah, blah, blah. And it's not, because she just goes on to be really successful, and then she makes enough money to buy the townhouse on her own. And this is where they reunite after 2 years, because she goes to the townhouse to buy it, and so she goes to tour it, and she finds out that the entire house was renovated 2 years prior, because he bought it and renovated it over the summer for them to move into because he wanted to propose to her and wanted them to live together in this house. He knew she wanted that so bad. It's like this house, I don't know the New York law, I'm sorry, where it's in a specific park and only people who live in that park have like access to the park because their house is in there. And now she has enough money to buy it herself, so she goes there, buys the house, they reunite, they fly to Paris, and he rents out the Eiffel Tower, but now it's fine because she's also really wealthy. One of my favorite TikToks that Alex Aster posted was, "You're so quiet. Thanks. I wrote an adult enemies to lovers book where ... stuff ... happens in a library on the sliding ladder, against the door and on the stairs, and there's nothing stopping my mom from reading it this month." And I just want to say that this happens after they reunite. First of all, these scenes are not explicit. It's just like he pounds me from behind. Like, I've read worse, you know what I mean? It's very minimal smut. And her, like, playing it out to, like, we see shit on the slide. We don't see them do it on the fucking sliding ladder. She's like, "Oh, the library has a sliding ladder and we put it to use." And I'm like, how did you put that to fucking use? Is he, like, pounding into you and you're just sliding around? Like, what is going on? Genuinely have no idea how she envisions that scene because she didn't write it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not on the fucking page. And then they do get married, and it is lovely and fantastic. I actually don't know if they get married, now that I'm remembering it. Let me see what the last line was. "It's the end of August, summer is almost over, and this time I'm ready for it to be endless." Okay. So that's how the book ends, and I'm just, like, left wondering why this exists, and if this really was her fantasy, falling asleep. Like, she was falling asleep to for 10 years? I'm not sure. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say about this? Nothing happened in this book. The main character was insufferable, and the dude, I don't know what he did. I survived summer in the city. I survived reading this book in literally a day or less. No, it wasn't that long because it was 300 pages. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I didn't really like it that much. I would give it 1 star. And let me know what you thought about the book, if you've read it, if anybody gives a fuck about Alex Aster. Actually, let me look. Let me look on Goodreads how many people read this fucking book. Why do I only have 6 likes on my reading update, guys? You can do better. Go like and subscribe! It only has 12,000 ratings, and they're busting open their ass for the fuck-ass promotion. I cannot believe it. Let me see how many the last Lightlark book has, how many ratings. Let me see. Okay, 69,000. Okay, I take it back then. How much does the first one have? Wait, we'll look together. 261. Honestly, with the amount of promotion, I thought it was going to be a million. A million, billion, trillion. But 12,000, honestly, is not that much, and it's deserved, and it only has 3,000 reviews, and it has a 3.86 average, which, okay, like, I've seen better. How much does Lightlark have? 3.85, even worse, bitch. Honestly, that's so interesting. Sky Shade, the last book, has 3.64. It keeps getting lower. What does the second book have? 4.1. Well, people love Nightbane. Okay, so now let me see what Fearless has, which is the latest book in Lauren Roberts' universe, Powerless trilogy. 57,000. Okay. I'm confused. So they came out like 1 week apart, and they are both TikTok famous authors. So what the fuck is going on with the marketing? Guys, let me know what you thought about this book. I'm gonna read it now because you thought it was so interesting. I'm happy that I got it off my chest, and I can't wait for the next disaster that she's gonna release for me to rip into. She just truly is like not a capable author. But at the end of the day, she's tried everything. She's tried singing. She's tried acting, at least in her family's commercials. And now she's doing writing. And she's done modeling. Yeah. So, what's next? Come to Germany. I'll meet you, Alex. I'll give you a tour of Frankfurt. No, guys, if she comes to the Buchmesse this year in Frankfurt, then I will be there. I will be first in line to get my book signed by her and take a picture with her just for the plot, but honestly, I have to say, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even have a physical version of any of her books. So I will just get my boobs signed. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you love me, and I want to give a special shout out to my membies, my members, my boo-boos, my book haters. They have so many names. My members voted for me to read this book out of a great selection of options. Fearless, Sunrise on the Reaping, and this book. Thank you for making me suffer. I can always trust you to make me suffer. They also get my videos a day early, and they get exclusive commentary videos. No, it's just videos. Content is what I wanted to say, such as my Ruby Red movie commentary. And I do want to do movie commentary this year, but I still haven't figured it out, so I haven't done it yet. But I want to do it. So if that's something you're interested in, you can consider becoming a member. Also, they get my eternal peace and love, of course. You're the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last thing I think about when I go to sleep. I love you so much. I hope you stay happy, healthy, peace and love. And hopefully, I'll see you in my next video. Well, bye-bye.